I'm not quite sure how this is going to go. I wanted to print something out and I couldn't because the printer's not working. Typical, isn't it? But first of all, I want to say Shalom. Some of you will know, thank you, Keith. Some of you will know what Shalom means, others may not, but I'm hoping that, we'll see as we go along. But in Israel, they greet people with the word Shalom, and it means hello. But when they say goodbye, they also say Shalom, so it means goodbye as well. I think if it was me, we probably wouldn't know whether I'm coming or going. But yeah, Shalom is used as a greeting. And but first, before we, I want you to hear a song. But before we do that, I want to read from Matthew 25, verse 1 to 13, if you want to follow. And the title is, let's get that going. No, I've got the wrong one, sorry. There we go. Hope, peace, and virgins. A few months ago, we did a study on peace, on hope, sorry, and this is part of that. I'm having to swap screens a bit. Matthew 25, verse 1 to 13. At that time, the kingdom of heaven will be like 10 virgins who took their lamps and went out to meet the bridegroom. 5 of them were foolish, and 5 were wise. The foolish ones took their lamps, but did not take any oil with them. The wise ones, however, took oil in jars along with their lamps. The bridegroom was a long time in coming, and they all became drowsy and fell asleep. At midnight, the cry rang out, "Here's the bridegroom, come out and meet him." Then all the virgins woke up and trimmed their lamps. The foolish ones said to the wise, "Give us some of your oil, our lamps are going out." "No," they replied, "there may not be enough for both us and you. Instead, go to those who sell oil and buy some for yourselves." But while they were on their way to buy the oil, the bridegroom arrived. The virgins who were ready went in with him to the wedding banquet, and the door was shut. Later, the others also came. "Lord, Lord," they said, "open the door for us." But he replied, "Truly I tell you, I don't know you. Therefore, keep watch, because you do not know the day or the hour." This is the national anthem of Israel. It's called The Hope. Now keep it going. For as long as within our hearts the Jewish soul sings, and as long as to the east, forward to Zion looks the eye. Our hope will not be lost. The hope of 2,000 years to be a free people in our land, the land of Zion and Jerusalem. To be a free people in our land, the land of Zion and Jerusalem. Thank you, Rob. I don't know about you, but when I first heard that, I felt really emotional for them. They have a hope to have their land back, a hope that they've been hoping for the last 2,000 years. And you can almost sense they're crying out. You can almost sense a brokenness, a broken heart, that, look, this is what we're after. There's a song at the moment, I heard it once on radio too, but I came across it a couple of weeks before that. And it's from South Africa. And it's this chap, and he's put this song together. It's really, really catchy. And it's called Jerusalem. When you get home, do a search on YouTube for Jerusalem. And basically, it's that desire to go back to Jerusalem. And this is a people in South Africa. So I want to share with you not only hope, but also peace. And there is a reason why, and you'll see how all this comes together, I hope. But as you're aware, or most of you, or some of you will be aware that I've started to try and learn Hebrew. And I've given myself 2 years to learn Hebrew. And I find it an absolutely fascinating language, incredible language. Our language is totally different. We, for example, have the word dog. And we know dog, when we see the word dog or we hear the word dog, we know it means dog. But that's all it means. But the word in itself, it doesn't matter what it is. We can use the word canine. We still know that that is a dog. We know what it refers to. But it's immaterial what the word is, as long as we know that that word relates to dog. But in Hebrew, it's different. It's different. The actual word itself has meaning. And I hope that I can share with you the excitement that I feel when I'm looking at Hebrew and Hebrew words. I hope I don't bore you. There's a lot of hope here, isn't there? But bear with me. Even if you don't follow everything, just bear with me, and I hope that you'll see the sense in what I'm trying to apply. Now, the very first letter of the alphabet is Aleph. That is the Aleph. Okay? Now, modern Hebrew is nothing like the ancient Hebrew. Modern Hebrew is more like Aramaic. But that is what the letter Aleph is. It's the first letter of the alphabet. It also represents the number 1, because that's how they do it. They don't have number systems like we have. Now, originally, it was an ox head. That's what they drew. It was a picture of an ox head. That's the ancient form. Okay, so bear with me. That's the ox head. And then the shape actually changed to that because it was easier to write. Right, just a V. Now, can you see that if that was turned round, that gives us our letter A. But the point of the ox head is that it means power, strength. Think of the ox pulling the plough. It means first, prime, ahead. Okay? It means strength. So there we have strength, mighty, power, master, first, head, chief, is all represented by the ox head. Now, Aleph is what it's called, it's the first letter of the alphabet. But Aleph is the Hebrew word for ox. The modern Hebrew alphabet still preserves the ancient Hebrew. Now, the next one, don't worry, I'm not going through all 22 letters, so you'll be fine. The second one, that is Beit. That's the second letter of the alphabet. The Beit represents a tent. And we have the tent, that's a picture of a tent looking from the plan view. And in the inner tent would be the women, and in the outer tent would be the men looking after the women. And then it sort of went to this, then to that, and to this form. And if you imagine that turn round, you can actually see our letter B in that. Okay? So it means house. It means dwelling. It means inn. It can be Bet, Beit, or Beth. It's all the same. It means house. And the word Beit in Hebrew is translated as house. Interesting to note, Bethlehem, we've all heard of Bethlehem. Bethlehem, or Bethlehem, means house of bread. Bethel means house of God. And it's the El, just to show you how it works, El, as in Elohim, and El Shaddai, are both named for God. You got the Aleph there. This is another one. That one's called Lamed. And the Lamed is a staff. It's a shepherd's staff, a shepherd's rod, shepherd's crook. And it means leadership and authority. Aleph is big, great. So the great authority, the first authority, is who? Is God. Okay? And that's the word El, which means God. If I've lost you, I apologize. We have the Aleph, we have the Beit, and when we put them together, we have the word Father. Who knows the song Abba Father? Yeah, we've all heard the word Abba Father. Abba means father. And again, it's Abba is the A, the Aleph, is strong, it's strength, it's first, it's prime. The Beit means house. So the head, or the first, the authority of the house is the father. Now, there is a word called fire. In Hebrew, it's esh or aish. Now, there is a reason why I'm going through this. It's Aleph, and that is a shin. Now, the shin in Hebrew actually used to be a picture of teeth, and it means to devour and destroy. So when we look at fire, we have Aleph, and we have destruction. We have great destruction. Fire is great destruction. So the word fire in Hebrew is esh, which is great destruction. What do you get after a fire has consumed everything? Ash. Okay? Can you see our word ash in that? I don't know about you, but I'm blown away by this. I find it so fascinating and so interesting that our words actually come from that as well. Now, I want to get back to Shalom. Shalom in Hebrew, we said, is hello, and it's goodbye. It's used by everyone in Israel. And it also means peace. And probably most of us have heard that it means peace. It means peace be with you. or peace be upon you, or I wish you well. And that is the Hebrew word for shalom. You've got the shin, which is the teeth. You've got the lamed, which is the crook. We have an extra one there, which is a vav. It's a nail, which means it joins two letters together. And then we have mem. And the mem is water. Water in Hebrew is mayim. That is the mem. And it means it can represent chaos and destruction. And I think the chaos comes from the time of the flood, because there was a lot of water which caused absolute chaos and devastation. Are you following me so far? Yes, no? So we have water, nail, crook and teeth. Remember, Hebrew is from this side to that. We're reading not from left to right, but from right to left. Teeth, destroy. The crook means ruler, authority, means ruler. The nail, we're going to connect things together, and chaos. And if we look at that word, we come to the ruler connected with chaos is destroyed. And bear with me. So what that really means is that shalom, within that, is showing that it's looking at the end times. Who is the ruler of the world at the moment? We're told that it's Satan. It rules the world and in chaos. And the ruler connected with chaos is destroyed. So what we're really doing when we say shalom, when we greet people with shalom, we're saying peace to you until I don't have to say it anymore, because it's always going to be peace. Jesus, the Prince of Peace, the everlasting Prince of Peace. So the ruler connected with chaos is destroyed. Now, when I've been learning Hebrew and when I've got the word shalom and I see that the people of Israel use the word shalom and it's lost its meaning. And I find it quite emotional, because I see the Jews who are waiting for the Messiah still. They don't believe that Jesus was the Messiah. And yet they're missing something absolutely wonderful. They're lost. They've lost their way. And peace to them is peace without war. They want their land. Without the fighting, without everything that's going on, they just want their land back. They want a place that they can call home. And you can see it in their heart's desire. And whether they're believers in the Jewish religion or not, they all want their land. They all want a place that they can call home. They still say shalom. And to them, that's what it means. It means a time when they can look forward to having their own place, having their own land. But the point is that it's much more than that. And what it's looking to is not, they're still looking to the return, to the Messiah coming. But what are we looking forward to? We should be looking forward to his return. Because one day Jesus will return. You know, with everything that's going on in the world, I think as Christians, we should be prepared and we should be ready. In the story of the 10 virgins, we find that 5 were ready and 5 weren't. 5 were prepared for the return of the groom, and 5 weren't. The question for us today is, are we prepared for when Christ returns? Would we know the signs of Christ's return? 10 virgins, it looks at the oil of the Holy, which is the Holy Spirit. The light is God's word. Thy word is a lamp unto my feet. 5 of the virgins were caught sleeping. Well, 10 of them were sleeping, actually. But 5 awoke, or when they awoke, 5 were ready for when the bridegroom came. How do we prepare ourselves for the return of Christ? One is to know the scriptures. It's to know the signs. It's said that when a woman is in labour, there's labour pains. There's signs that something's going to happen. When the seasons change, we know when winter is coming because the leaves start falling off the trees. Autumn is on its way. No one knows the day or the hour, but we do know that the time is close. And my wish for you and for me is that we are prepared and that we are ready and that we're prepared for when Jesus returns. And what does that mean? Scripture says that many will come claiming to be Christ, but don't follow them. How do we know if someone is who they say they are unless we know the scriptures? God gave us the scriptures so that we could understand, so that we could know. The word is a light for us. There's a lot going on in the world today, and without going into conspiracy theories and stuff like that, there's just one thing that I want to touch on, and I would love for you to research it and to find out, but I know for a fact that there's something called the World Economic Forum, and they are planning what they call a Great Reset. They're calling it a golden opportunity off the back of COVID and climate change. They're calling it the 4th Industrial Revolution. It's there, it's all in plain sight, it's on their website, you can see it, WE Forum. Prince Charles is part of it, a lot of well-known people are all part of it. And this is what they're pushing. But when you look at the website, when you look at all the information that they've got, you just think this is so ungodly. There's a wheel that they're showing, and on it is everything from equality to climate change to virtually everything. It lists lots and lots and lots of different things all along this wheel. What it doesn't put on there is Christianity. In fact, it doesn't put religion on there at all. Yet it's got LBGT, it's got a lot of other things on it, but it does not put religion and it does not put Christianity on there. Yeah, they do mention religion further on in the website, but on this picture of how it's all going to work, they don't put religion on there. They don't put Christianity on there. Is it going to happen? Are we going to have this big reset? I don't know, but that's what they're pushing for. Are we prepared? Just want to share with you one more thing. think most of us know this blessing. The Lord bless you and keep you. The Lord make his face to shine upon you and be gracious to you. The Lord lift up his countenance upon you and give you peace. And that's in Numbers. There's a chap called Jeff Benner, and it's Ancient Hebrew Research Centre. And he's got some amazing thoughts on the words, and he's done a lot of research into how the Hebrew language has changed over the years. And he's actually gone through the Hebrew words of this and actually translated it differently. It says, Yahweh, or the Lord, will kneel before you, presenting gifts, and will guard you with a hedge of protection. God will illuminate the wholeness of his being toward you, bringing order, and he will give you comfort and sustenance. God will lift up his wholeness of being and look upon you, and he will set in place all you need to be whole and complete. I thought that was a wonderful translation of that verse that we know so much. When it says about God will kneel before you, it's not kneeling in submission. It's more like as we would to our children when we kneel down to get eye level to speak to them. And it's a picture of our Father getting eye level with us, presenting gifts, and he will guard us with a hedge of protection.